The thick jungle of northern Myanmar offers the soldiers of the Kachin army some protection, but only some. But they use this cover tirelessly because they're fighting for their very existence. This part of Myanmar, which is home to the Kachin people, is cut off to aid agencies, politicians and foreigners. But we managed to get rare access with the help of one of Myanmar's toughest rebel groups. The Kachin army are a battle-hardened, mostly Christian outfit. And they're convinced the Burmese troops want to eliminate them altogether. The Kachin people have faced random, indiscriminate attacks like this from the Burmese military for years. But fresh off their bloody campaign against the Rohingya Muslims, the Myanmar troops have launched a fresh offensive against the Kachin. The Myanmar military are using the same tactics they've unleashed against the Rohingya, burning homes and forcing terrified families to run for their lives. The mode of escape may be different in this area, but the modus operandi of the brutal oppressor is horrifyingly similar. Hundreds of civilians have been trapped in the jungle, unable to return to their homes and cornered by Myanmar troops. Lashi and her children are amongst tens of thousands now living in camps. Her family's fled from Myanmar troops 7 times, and she's in no doubt what they're trying to do to the Kachin. I'm convinced the Burmese government's trying to carry out ethnic cleansing of the Kachin people. Whenever they see Kachin civilians, they kill them. If they see a Kachin woman, they'll rape her, even a pregnant woman. The organisers say even the camps are attacked.
The Burmese military attacked again to the camp, and they have to move to get here.
No one here feels secure. Bombing civilians in safe havens is a war crime under international law. Many of the families here have fled attacks more than once, jumping from camp to camp to try and find safety, and always living in these very, very basic conditions where the houses are extremely flimsy. So after fighting for self-autonomy for decades, the Kachin army is bedding in for this fresh onslaught from the old enemy. They have well-established defence positions, but they're hemmed in by the Burmese military and troops. See one soldier in the centre, and a larger group of soldiers to the right of your screen, moving behind the trees. There are numerous positions like this one, from where they attack the Kachin at random. He's showing me how you can see the Myanmar military. They're only about 800 metres away, positioned right on the top. And that's where they mount some of these attacks. Yep, they've got posts up there. Through day and night, the Kachin army defend their territory. Their small arms are no match against the Myanmar military's air power and artillery, and their leaders are clear. The Myanmar military is guilty of war crimes, and this country's former British colonisers know that, but ignore it.
We see them carrying out a lot of crimes against humanity. There are many unlawful arrests, there's a real abuse of power, and they are intentionally forcing people out of their homes and making them move.
They're busy recruiting all the time for their army. This lot started training a week ago. They tell you here that the atrocities suffered by the Rohingya have been endured in secret by the Kachin for decades. There are hundreds of these camps all over Kachin territory, and those inside believe because the international community chose to ignore the Rohingya crisis, the Myanmar authorities are now turning on the country's other ethnic groups, like the Kachin, with vigour. Alex Crawford, Sky News in northern Myanmar.